Hello, everyone.
Good evening. Good evening, Toastmaster M. Thomas. Nice to see you.
Nosh.
Good evening.
Good evening, Sujit.
Good evening.
Hi, Raja. Hi, Neha.
All right, I think go ahead. Good afternoon, dignitaries, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. My name is Toastmaster Rinosh Thomas, and I will be the Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting and welcoming all of you to meeting 122. Before we start the meeting, I would like to mention a few ground rules. And since our meetings are happening online, here are the rules. As Toastmasters, we don't talk about sex, religion, and politics. So please refrain from discussing these topics. Please put yourself on mute if you are not speaking, and please turn off your video if you are stepping out of the meeting. As everyone in their life has a mission to achieve their goals, likewise, our Toastmasters Club also has a mission. And the mission of our Toastmasters Club is we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Taking this meeting further, we have a very dynamic, young Toastmaster, a leader who is with us. When I had seen her a few months ago, she was a shy girl, but now she is a dynamic and explosive Toastmaster. Put your hands together to welcome the Toastmaster of the day to take the ship forward, Toastmaster Rusby Bashir. Toastmaster Rusby Bashir, the ship is all yours, Captain.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rinosh Thomas. Before we start, let me introduce to you our dynamic, our ever-smiling, ever-positive, enthusiastic president of our club, Toastmaster Kavita Raja, to officially inaugurate our meeting. Over to you, Kavita, ma'am.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Today, I am so excited. Today, we are going to have a very vibrant session presented by our DTM Sujit Sugmaran, who is the current regional advisor for Region 11, past district director for D20, having been the youngest at the time in Region 11 to hold that post. On behalf of our Indian Academy, it's my pleasure and honor to welcome you. And I want to say heartfelt thank to our VP Education Toastmaster Nasha, who have arranged this wonderful session. On this note, I order meeting number 122. Back to the Master of Ceremonies. Thank you.
Thank you, President. Okay. Good evening once again, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests. And I'm very much excited to be your captain or pilot for today's meeting. Before we start, I've got a simple question for you. Who are you? No, I'm not looking for a politically correct answer like, I'm a very ambitious, hardworking person. I want to be this. I love doing so and so. No, I'm talking about who you truly are deep down. Take your time, think of it, we'll come back to it. Now, let me introduce to you the role players or sailors of today's meeting. Firstly, without whom the meeting would have been of no purpose. We're here to upgrade ourselves to the better version, learn from and acknowledge our mistakes as well as our strengths. Yes, that is the general evaluator. Our general evaluator for today is a member of Timber Talker Toastmasters Club, Kuwait. She joined Toastmasters a year and a half back with the aim to polish her speaking skills and to work on her writing skills, as she feels that to be a good speaker, first you need to be a good writer. Indeed, very true, right? Let's put our hands together for Toastmaster Neha Jetlia. Over to you, ma'am.
Good evening, Toastmasters. It's pleasure to be with you all. And it's, I think, the third time I'm working with Toastmaster Enosh. And when he called me for the general evaluator, I can't say no because I'm always excited to join the meetings where he is in. So looking forward for a great meeting and a wonderful time. All the best, everyone.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Okay, have you thought of the question that I asked you? Okay, let's face it. You and I both know that we all have two personalities who live two different lives. There's the life we want to live, and there's the life we're actually living. What are we afraid of? Or who are we afraid of? What's that thing that's stopping you and me? Hang in there. Let's meet the next sailor. Okay, this one's interesting. My personal favorite. Table topics have forever been haunting me. Like most of us are here to improve our public speaking skills, right? And impromptu speaking takes the first position in that list. Being a table topic master, you have that cruel right to shoot questions at people and make them drink water. And that's a very fun experience, trust me. Today, we have Toastmaster Wahiba Abdul Qadir, who will be taking up this role. Let's hear from her. Over to you, Toastmaster Wahiba.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, good evening. As the Toastmaster of the Day, Rusby, has mentioned, the table topic session is for developing the members' impromptu speaking skills and making them thinking on their feet. So the table topic session is developed for essential skills like listening, thinking, organizing, and speaking. Your responses must be at least 1 minute and can be more than that. You will see a green signal after 1 minute, and at 1 minute 30 seconds, a red signal. And at 1 minute and 30 seconds, yellow signal, and at 2 minutes, red signal. And I hope you all enjoy the table topic session. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Wahiba. Have a great time forcing people to think on their feet. It's fun, trust me. We're back. What was I asking you? Yeah, what's that one thing that's stopping you and me? Keep thinking. Moving on to the next sailor. Okay, I've assigned one person to make us all think on our feet, right? What's the next crucial element in our communication? Of course, the grammar and the usage of words. Until and unless you are sure of what you're speaking of and you can't convey the concept in your mind to the other person listening to you, there is no point in it, right? Here, I have Toastmaster Regina Ismail as the grammarian of the day. Please brief your role of the day to our fellow Toastmasters and guests. Over to you, Toastmaster. Do we have Toastmaster Regina Ismail here?
No, I think she came and something issues. Okay, we will go for next.
Okay, let's move on. Okay, next sailor, yet again a favorite role of mine. It's so much fun counting the R's and M's of the speaker and to see their reaction at the end when you read out the results. That lucky person today is our very own Toastmaster Nasha Sosan, and she'll be explaining more about her role to you. Over to you, Toastmaster Nasha.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, TM Rusby. Good evening, Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. The purpose of the R counter is to note words and sounds that are used as a clutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen to overused words including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for filler sounds including and I will note down when a speaker repeats a word, or a phrase. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker used this expression. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, TM Rusby.
Thank you, Nasha. And hope you know that MCs are exempted from the R counters counting. Have a fun time counting. Okay, so the answer for that question was simple. What's stopping us? The fear. I'm afraid to be myself. I'm afraid what others would think of me. I'm afraid if I'll hurt someone, if I be myself. We fear that people won't like us, respect us, or value us if we don't fit in, right? Okay. And finally, to keep track of our time, we'll come back to it later. To keep track of our time, to teach us the value of time, to be precise and to the point while speaking, to make us realize that we have limited time and to make use of it when we have it, we have our timer of the day, the multi-talented, ever supportive, ever enthusiastic Toastmaster Rajamanikam. Let's hear from him. Over to you, sir.
Let me update this. Thank you, Master of Ceremony, Toastmaster Rusby. Fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, and a special welcome to DTM Sujit. As a timer, I will be the table topics, speakers, and formal speeches and evaluations. I will also alert each speaker of the time they left using the green and yellow flashcards, which denote the specific time remaining. Today we have a special session. So for that special training session, I will show the 15 minutes, I will show the green. At 20 minutes, I will show the yellow. At 25 minutes, I will show the red card. And next, we have our speeches. Most speeches 5 to 7 minutes in length. At 5 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 6 minutes, I will raise the yellow card. At 7 minutes, I will raise the red card. After we have evaluators, individual evaluators, 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. At 3 minutes, I will raise the red card. Thank you. Toastmaster, back to Master of Ceremony.
Thank you, sir. I saw that Grammarian has joined back. I request you to please brief your role of the day to our fellow Toastmasters and guests. Over to you, Toastmaster Regina.
First of all, I'm extremely sorry. There were some network issues. That's why. Good evening to all. Thank you, Master of Ceremony. As grammarian, it's my responsibility to pay close attention to the speakers, listening carefully their language usage. I will note down if today's word is rendezvous. RENDEZVOUS. Rendezvous, which means a meeting planned at a certain time and place. The
I think Regina has internet issue.
Is she lagging?
Yeah, still. Yeah, still.
Go ahead. Toastmaster Regina, if
Yes,
you're facing an internet issue, maybe you can just switch off your video. At least the audio we can hear you in case if you're facing issues there.
No, now it's okay. It's over, sir.
Now it's okay.
Okay.
Go ahead. We just heard you say the word of the day, rendezvous. Just give us the meaning.
Rendezvous.
Okay. Give us the meaning and an example. Go ahead.
Rendezvous means a meeting planned at a certain time and place. For the usage of this word, which is, for example, the usage of this word is Union Terrace Gardens are a popular rendezvous in the heart of the city. I repeat, the meaning of this word is a meeting planned at a certain time and a place. This is the meaning of the word rendezvous. Thank you, and back to MC.
Thank you, Regina. We're going to have a hard time trying to use that word, but then it's a new word. Thank you. Moving on to the most awaited session of the evening, we are indeed honored to have this inspiring personality as the keynote speaker for today. Our distinguished guest for today, DTM Sujit Sugumaran, is an HR practitioner with over a decade's worth of experience in managing people while not busy unraveling the mysteries how the mind works. He is a distinguished Toastmaster, TEDx speaker, award-winning debate coach, a university professor, and a disability rights advocate. He is currently a PhD candidate at XLRI in India and resides with his family in Dubai, UAE. And belated happy birthday wishes on behalf of our club, sir. Wishing you many more years with happiness and may all your dreams come true. I request you to share our Pathways learning experience with us. Over to you, sir.
Right, 1 second. Okay, it's open, so that's fine. Right. Can you all see my screen? Just a moment, let me just start the slideshow. 1 second. Here we go. Yeah, screen is visible, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Pathways is not new anymore. And it's been almost now the 3rd year running, 3+ years. 2018, it was introduced here in 2021. But the fact still remains that a lot of people are still dilly-dallying with registration into Pathways. They're not really clear what to do, how to do. Some of them just in the initial enthusiasm, they just jumped into some path, then they went off the path. Now they are off-road driving somewhere, confused what they are doing. And there's some are stuck in limbo. Some others who are familiar with the old path to DTM, they are breezing through Pathways as if it's a 2 days, 3 nights tour package, finished immediately. As soon as they started, they finished 2-3 paths. Some others are going on overload, finishing all 11 paths and all that. Like, I don't know where they find the time for that, but God bless them. But whatever it is, the difference is that a lot of y'all who have been through the old program would find that there's a marked difference in Pathways compared to the old competencies. We in comparison for the new members, we don't have any comparison because they've not been through the old program at all. So all that they know is the new program. So during the course of this session, what I'm trying to tell you is one of the most important things as to how you can go about choosing a path and charting your journey so that you get the maximum out of Pathways. Because once you choose the right path, and then the journey gets set by itself. Even though they say there are 300 competencies, there are around 50 projects which are more or less similar in most of the paths put together. But the key question that I have come across, most of the people who have enrolled into Pathways are, how do I know whether the path that I'm choosing is the right path for me or not? So I will breeze through this presentation, nothing rocket science over here. It's quite simple, some of the learnings that I have. And probably, like he said, 25 minutes, say around at the 15 or 18-minute mark, I can probably open it up for questions so you can have better retention of the concepts. So as of now, you have 11 paths. Engaging humor was the last of the paths added probably 1.5 to 2 years after the Pathways was introduced, at which point of time they also told that there were many more paths coming. But then what they did not know at that point of time is Corona also was coming. And when Corona came, all the paths went off track. So now they are happy with what they have. Currently, as RA, I do know that there are some other paths in the pipeline, but given the funding difficulties, the membership drop, and so many other things, those projects have for time being gone into cold storage. We will see as because what is happening is there's something called global Pathways adoption, and around the world it's around 60%. So even in existing clubs that we have, around 40% of the members are still not registered on Pathways. Some of them, I know they are in the legacy program, they don't want to do pathways. But there is also a worrying 20% in every club, which very surprisingly, they are paying membership, but they have not started their pathways journey yet. So I don't know why they are paying money. It's like what, some charitable endowment or something or what, I don't know. But for whatever reason, at least start, press the play button. It's a single click. It's very easy now, not like before. So start with that journey. Unless you start in the journey, you cannot go anywhere in the journey. So these are the 11 paths available. Each of them test a bracket of different competencies. And depending on what you want to do, I will tell you one of the systems which worked for me and most of my mentees. You might want to follow that, or you may have your own method. You can follow that also. But whatever it is, know where you're going, because otherwise you will not reach anywhere. So when we look at the path comparisons, the assessment that you take in the beginning, it will recommend 3 possible routes in terms of what you can choose. And the funny part with that assessment is it is only as good as the answers you give to the questions that are asked. So if I have taken that assessment 3-4 times and purposely alternated the answers within different choices, and each time it has given me a different set of paths. So the problem here is the member who is attempting it for the first time may not know what answers to give for the questions, and sometimes might end up choosing a choice only because a better choice was not available. And as a result, somebody who has no interest in any path at all will be forced into taking that path. So I have developed something which is an alternative system. Now this, because of Corona, PPE is a very famous abbreviation, personal protective equipment, but this doesn't mean that. What it means is, in terms of the PPE system, look at it this way. The first choice in terms of a path, you should look at areas where you are not strong. This is called the P. Like for me personally, humor is not my strong suit. So I would probably want to take one path which is in humor. So it's like engaging humor. Or if I'm an admin kind of a guy, I've never led a team. So team management might be one of the paths that I want to make. So one area where you have to stretch yourself, it's not comfortable for you, it's not your comfort zone, that you take, which is very relevant to your work or your industry that you're in, take that as the first path consideration. Second one is professional. If you are like, for example, in a particular area, like project management is one of the areas which you can do in pathways. You can also do things which are related to, if you go back, you can do stuff like persuasive influence. If you are in sales, you definitely need to do that. If you are in top management, you can do dynamic leadership. You also need to do effective coaching. Effective coaching, by the way, is a beautiful path if you want to do mentoring and all that at the higher level. So it tests different competencies. The last one is excellence. So suppose like most of us are gifted in one particular area, like somebody is already very good at humor, or they are very good at thinking on their feet, or they're very good at giving motivational speeches. So then you might want to take a path which further polishes that, put yourself into a higher level challenge. So personal, professional, and excellence. So these are the 3 criteria. Simple. You create one Excel sheet with 3 columns and you figure out, where am I right now? What do I want to get out of pathways? What is the end result that I want? Then look at the 11 paths available and categorize that. If I start with this, what can I do? So this will give you, irrespective of the questionnaire answers and the path suggestions that they give you, look at how it matches with your own internal matrix of what you want to achieve. That will give you a more precise understanding of what you need to do. Then see, this is a simple screenshot of what the pathway is in terms of achieving a DTM in pathways. So you have 2 paths. Then you need to be a club sponsor or a speechcraft or a YLP leader. You need to be a club mentor or a club coach. And then you need to be a club officer and a district officer. And then you have that thing called a DTM project, in which some parts it's called a capstone. It involves a series of activities with interdependencies with people. Some of it is just you driven, like presentation mastery and visionary communication are longer kind of speeches which are self-driven. You don't need to depend on any other people. And then you get awarded the DTM. Actually speaking, I have done DTM in both the traditional path and pathways. And I have found that pathways is very easy compared to the older DTM, because the projects are much simpler. You have a lot of flexibility to do any kind of permutation combinations. And the only tough thing remains the DTM project. If you get into paths which have a mandatory HPL, then it will set you back by at least 6 to 8 months. But otherwise, if your club officer, district officer, mentor or coach is already ready and the sponsor is already ready, and if you are very committed, like I have seen people completing Pathways DTM in 6 months also, if the other leadership things are already done. But what you will achieve by doing it so fast, so shortly, that is your call to take, because it's a self-paced learning program. You need to show and understand what you are going to get at the end of the journey. I did it personally, my first DTM, I did it in 6 years, 2006 to 2012. Pathways DTM, I did it in 6 months. Basically because I wanted to test the system, how fast you can do it. But I'm not the fastest. There have been people who have done it in 3 months also, completing the projects. And then they waited for 1 year to get all the leadership things done up. So if you have leadership things pending in your dashboard, then go ahead. But at the end of the day, like now I have 2 DTM plaques in my house, like it's there. Some of it is just packed in the same cardboard box. Point is not about getting the badge or the letters. Think about an eventuality where if you remove your badge, still they will know you are distinguished. That is what you need to aim for, that without the badge, without the position, without the pin, the way you speak, the way you conduct yourself, if they know that you are distinguished, then you have achieved big time. Otherwise, it's like saying, I have passed BCom, but I don't know anything about accountancy. Okay, you have very good accounting skills. Now I know automatically you might have studied BCom, even if you don't tell me that. So distinction is about going beyond the badge or beyond the qualification. Your knowledge should speak for itself. So levels are the same for most of the parts, like mastering fundamentals, learning your style, increasing knowledge, building skills. And last one is the tough part, which is coming to demonstrating expertise. Now, this slide, you can even take a screenshot of. This is something that I have done some research on. Now, there are some things called path peculiarities. Each of the paths have their own unique things, like effective coaching, innovative planning, and persuasive influence. These 3 paths, right, they have a compulsory HPL component. So this will, if you take any of these 3 paths, you will be stuck between 6 to 12 months doing that particular HPL. And the problem is it is dependent on other people also. So if they, now it's Corona time, and if they are not available or something like that, your project might go into limbo. It's like doing a PhD and your guide gets retired, then you're in trouble. So something like that. Then there is 6 months leading a team project. This is part of dynamic leadership, team collaboration, strategic relationship. This is slightly more easier. You can do a division contest, area contest, some kind of events, special events like that. Although I don't personally feel it is worth for an HPL or a team project that way, because it's a very simple thing to do. But you can even take a project within your office or something like that and do it that way. Presentation mastery and visionary communication are 2 paths which are super simple, because they don't require any of these kind of HPL or long projects or dependence between each other people, or depending on their mood swings or something like that. You just have to do long speeches, longer speeches, like keynotes, like 30-40 minute speech and all is there. If you have patience and if you love talking, you can do these kind of things. Leadership development, creating a successful event. Yes, this you can do. These kind of things, like a lot of online Zoom based events are happening. This is also an interesting manual. Motivational strategies, again, it's like team building through an event. So if you see point number 2, 6 months leading a team project, and motivational strategy is somewhat the same, not very difficult. It's overlapping in some area. Last one is engaging humor. This is the newest path. This also doesn't have any HPL component or multi-teamwork component. It's just about delivering your message with humor. Like you take a topic, and there are multiple levels of humor in that. And this last project will probably give you a scenario, like do a stand-up comedy or do some kind of thing, and you finish with that, and that's it. Doesn't take much time. So in order of toughness, not wanting to intimidate or not wanting to pressurize you, I would say presentation mastery is easiest. It is same like CC manual, similar kind of thing. Visionary communication is the second most toughest. Then you have engaging humor, which is the third most toughest. Why I say this is because these three are you dependent. Then comes the next three paths, which are people dependent. My only issue with people dependent paths is if they migrate, if they lose their job, if they have to go back to their home country and all, your project will go back with them. Then you have to start all over again. So in these challenging times, try to reduce the risk factors. I am not endorsing any path. I personally have done and finished presentation mastery and visionary communication. So obviously these are my favorites, but it does not have to be that way for you. You can choose whatever you want. This is an interesting, I don't have the link to this because it's obviously showing on Zoom. I can send you this after the session. There are two things. One is called the Pathways Basecamp cheat sheet. Of course, this is not required for you guys right now because I'm sure most of you are familiar with the Basecamp now. This was more required when you were all new to Pathways. And the last of the resources is this thing called the Pathways Encyclopedia and Digest. This is done by Karen Story and one more person. They're a couple. And they have actually put links to everything that is important in Pathways. You just click it, it will take you to that place, like the evaluation sheets or the criteria and all these kind of things. So this is what you need to actually look at when you're getting inside Pathways. From a helicopter overview point of view, given the 25 minutes and the time, this is what I have in terms of syllabi. Now I'm open to having any questions that you might have. I haven't been seeing the timer. How are we doing on time, Raja?
We finished 13 minutes.
13 minutes or 30 minutes?
13.
13. Okay. So we still have time. We have around 15 minutes for 13 plus 10, 23. Yeah, 12 minutes for Q&A. So I open the floor to you guys. I can cycle between the slides if you want me to go back to any place. But I'll be happy to have your doubts and questions, if any.
Okay, so the first question is, sir, what motivates you to excites you to continue in Toastmasters?
Well, thing is, I've been a Gavalier, so I've been in Toastmasters since when I was 14. And what excites me now, personally, honestly, if you ask me, the communication part of it does not excite me much because, see, Toastmasters is like a school. So you study up to 10th standard or 12th standard, you pass out. You don't say, okay, I enjoyed it so much, I want to study again 10th standard and 12th standard, right? You go ahead. The next part is what? Use those skills, get into college. Okay, you get a degree. What's the next thing? You use the skills of that degree in the real world. So right now I'm quite interested in using the communicative ability, the spoken word, the written word, all kinds of communication in different kind of platforms and pathways. Like, for example, I have a YouTube channel of my own. I run a podcast of my own. So all these kind of things are like when before Pathways brought podcasts into the curriculum way back in, I think 2013, 14, I was the first person in the whole region. And I think in this Middle East itself who got a podcast organized on SoundCloud and all, way before podcasts. Even that time I didn't even know what is a podcast and I was still making a podcast. So now it has become trendy and very sexy to have all these podcasts and all that. But going forward, the modality even in Toastmasters is only with 3 C's. Either you can be a creator, or you can be a consumer, or you can be a collator or a collector, as you might want to call it. So the creators are those who make material, who make things happen, who do change related initiatives. Consumers are those who will be happy, they will listen to your speeches, but they will never do a speech themselves. They will be happy watching YouTube videos. They will be happy attending meetings, but you cannot force them beyond a point to do any path. And collators are those who are, they enjoy taking video recordings, taking photographs, collecting resources, but they will not do anything. So every Toastmaster club and division area is comprised of a mix of these people. So it's like, every school when you enter, there are different kind of students. Some will be backbenchers, some will be front benchers, some will be outside the class also. So these kind of things are all there. So for me, what excites me is now it's more about giving back and preferably learning from somebody who's better than me, because I always believe in one mantra, there are scores of people better than me. There are scores of people not so good as I am also, but there is only one me. So I believe in the uniqueness that I am, but at the same time, I'm always humble to learn, like in a day, probably I watch 2-3 podcasts, I read around 2-3 books. The mind is always in action. So what motivates me is the people element, because every meeting, like now, if I have to meet all of you, I have to come all the way to Bahrain. Because of Zoom, I am able to see all of you and interact with you guys. So every interaction brings with it some kind of learning. So that is the thing what keeps me in Toastmasters.
That was quite interesting, sir. And we all, I know we deep down, we all aim to be like you, to pass out of this communication course thing. Okay. You mentioned about PPE. How did Toastmasters projects or pathways helped you in your professional life and personal goals?
Oh, very interesting question. I dropped out of corporate life after completing around 10 years. Started my own firm 5 years ago, and I've not looked back since. It's so interesting being an entrepreneur now that if I had a choice, I should not say so. I've been doing quite well, touch wood. Like there is no requirement for a job anymore. But if you give me a choice, I will definitely not go back to work under anybody anymore. And that kind of confidence came only because the amount of people I met, the fact that people like the way I spoke. The same skills are used in the market also, and this is a kind of rude shock awakening, because no matter what you are in Toastmasters, the moment you set up a business and start work outside, you will not get any business from the people who know you. Number one. Number two, it's better not to do business with relatives or with friends, because both of them become bloody businesses. So these two things are very golden principles if you need to survive in business. And for all the respect and the applause you get in the safe environment of a club, nobody owes you anything in the outside world. They will strip you down to the last sinew. They don't care what coat you're wearing, what badge you're wearing, whether you have underwear or overwear above. They will literally put you on the road and beat you out. You have to fight for survival. The only thing that Toastmasters provides is a encouraging environment. I call it something like a social bar. Even if you might get abused by a client, you can still come back to a meeting and they will give you samosas and clap no matter what you do. That is the good thing that Toastmasters does. But beyond that, it's good. It's like a school. You have nostalgia, you love your teachers, you love your co-students, but you don't want, when you study in a school, you don't say, no, now I want to be principal of this school, I will not leave this place only. Schools are for that. They educate you, they emancipate you, they empower you. Then after a point, you have to move on, explore other things in life, come back enriched with the experience, then take up leadership and learn something more, give back to the people. And I can tell you, when you teach, when you train, when you give back, you learn 10 times more than what you were doing as a practitioner doing speeches.
Okay, that's indeed very true. The amount of support that we're getting from this platform it's unexplainable. Okay, a new member asks this question, like, as a new member, how to pursue a pathway?
Look at this presentation, look at the video, refer to the seniors in your club who have done it. It's like this: first time when you have children, you go and ask people who already have children, right? How do I make my children grow well? Similarly, see, not that the people who already have children are PhD in how to bring up children, but at least you will learn from their mistakes, if not their success. At least they have the experience. So look at people who have been there, done that. Some of them who you admire. And yeah, don't fall in love with superstars in your club, because a super speaker may not be a good mentor or may not be a good coach. Don't go in some infatuation kind of thing. In fact, some cases, the best of my mentors, my 2-year-old daughter is one of my best mentors, because she knows immediately when I'm moving, whether I'm moving properly or not. It's like my reflection. Children are shameless and fearless. They really bring you to the ground. So your own family might be your best mentor. You don't need somebody from outside. So as a new member, utilize your ears and your eyes more, your mouth less, listen twice, look at it twice, re-examine it twice. That's why you have 2 eyes and 2 ears. Speak like 1/10 of that. When you have the time, when you are wise enough, they will call you. When they start asking your opinion, that means you have earned the position that you matter. Until that, you be a fly on the wall. In the olden days, I used to carry a shortened pad. Now I carry my mobile with a recorder in that, something interesting, and be a sucker for researched content. I listen to meetings and speeches because I might get one quotation, one punchline, one something. I will note it down and keep it in my book. Later on, when I go for a paid presentation, without doing all that research, I will put that punchline. People think I am so intelligent. I have understood that punchline by years and years of reading. Answer is yesterday evening, I must have attended a Toastmaster meeting. I would have taken it from there. But that's what you need to go for. Start with the end in mind. If you don't know why you are coming to the meeting, then you will not get anything out of the meeting. Like if you want to just meet everybody, shake hands, hug each other, eat samosa, go to the park. Don't come to Toastmaster meeting. The gift of your time and your attention are 2 of the most expensive gifts you can give anybody on this planet. Especially like, for example, now we have 18 people in this room, 25 minutes. So 18 into 20, 18 to 360 minutes. If my talk is useless, I have literally wasted 360 minutes of unregettable time. What a colossal waste. At the same time, if I have given you value, that means I have got 360 minutes of value in your life where you could have done something else. Think in economics, there's a very interesting thing called opportunity cost. What are the other things you could have done instead of coming to this meeting? When you stand on the stage, when a club gives you a chance to speak, when you are given a role, think about that. Are you doing your role with utmost sincerity and adding value? Or at least are you learning something from that? That way, even as a new member, you will give solid value. You will see people are coming to you, okay, last week you did grammarian, this week you can do this, why don't you do a speaker? Because people feel that, when this guy comes in the meeting or when this lady comes to meeting, there is some value. There are 2 types of members, some who add value when they speak, some who add value when they keep quiet. Yeah, try not to be the second kind of person, because some people appear bright until they speak. That's why, like light travels faster than sound. So that's why, so some of them appear bright until they speak, and then we're like, oh my God, what just happened? So listen more, watch watch more, and use Corona well. Like because of Zoom, now we can zoom out to any country, see a lot of cultural. See, one of the best things I've been doing is thrice in a week, I attend meetings in different countries, not even in the GCC, like somewhere in Scandinavia and all. And the best part is you can see their faces also. So you can understand their body language, you can understand their cultural dynamics. Then when I go and meet a Danish person who is probably the CHRO of IKEA, I know how to deal with him because I have seen this last week, how this Danish guy is behaving in the meeting. So use the free learning opportunities given to you here as in a safe box, safe mode, antivirus setup to take it back to your corporate life and enjoy, prosper, make money, and be better in your life. That is what it is. It's a school. Don't just top the school and waste your intelligence. Use it in your practical life. Then as a new member, you will be skyrocketing beyond potential. I think we have time for one more before he turns on the red light.
Before that, sir, trust me, you've given us 720 minutes worth of insight with this 20 minutes. Okay.
I hope so.
Everyone in this room would agree to it, sir. Last question. Actually, there are 2, but then I'm forced to
give me both. Give me both. I'll make it short.
Okay. What is pathway cheat sheet? Please explain.
Okay, the pathways cheat sheet is exactly what I told you in slide number 4, like what kind of paths you can choose if you want to go fast, how you can reach faster. if you want to get a particular effect, how you can get there. So I will send you the resources. Just the VP Education, give me your email address. I will send you both of the PDF files. It's available online, but you don't need to break your head searching for it. It's there in my folder. I will send it to you right away.
Thank you, sir. The last one, being the current regional advisor, what is your vision to grow Toastmasters in Region 11? Where do you see Toastmasters in the next 10 years?
Well, 10 years is a very, very big point of time. I don't even know whether I'll be alive tomorrow. So it's very foolish to answer this question. We have to either be God or, we need to know seasons and reasons to give authoritative answers to that. But to come to your point, in terms of the region advisor, I'm in charge of District 105, 20, 79, and 104, which are basically UAE, Oman, Jordan, Lebanon, Bahrain, Kuwait, and the 2 districts in Saudi of Eastern and Western Saudi Arabia. 105 is doing pretty okay. I believe they are going for a reformation next year, so they will split into 2 districts. 20 in terms of Bahrain and Kuwait was my original district before I became a refugee and got kicked out to 105 after reformation. They're also doing pretty well, but of course, everybody knows that Corona has come, people have lost their jobs, and it's not been easy to sustain clubs and all that. But on my list, I think 105 and 20 are doing fine. Only thing, you will need to maintain what you're doing and not lose further clubs and maintain the enthusiasm. And I believe the key to that is not at the district level, it's at the club level. It's definitely not at the district level, because it's the clubs who make the areas, it's the areas who make the divisions, and it's the divisions who make the district. So essentially the club is the first family unit. Coming to Saudi, it's a whole different ball game, because both of their districts have been having issues. One of them is like around 40% in minus. So for me personally, I don't want to commit any growth goals there. Even if we get to 0% growth, like net base, without losing anything, that will be good. This is not a year of celebration or thriving. It's more a year of survival. If we manage to do what is essential, first thing is stay alive. That is very important. All the other things can wait. Stay safe, stay alive. Your physical health and mental health, take care of this. And sometimes you never know, your Toastmasters meetings are things which might, like I had a case 2 weeks ago. There was a guy who lost his job, like last 8 months, he's without a job and all. And he was literally very depressed, on the verge of suicide. And he's like, I don't have money, I don't know what to do. And he came to a Toastmaster meeting, this guy on Zoom. And after the meeting, he's like, gentlemen, before you close the meeting, I'll not tell his name, because he's a very well-known person, at least in the UAE. He's like, I must tell you, I've been on very hard times. I was thinking what to do. I've sent my family back. I was even thinking of taking extreme steps. But just the fact that I've been meeting every 2 weeks with you guys, you have been keeping me sane. And one of the members in the group, they reached out to me and they said, you are not looking like usual. What happened? So then I happened to tell him my story. And in 3 weeks from that time, he was gracious enough to refer me to some of his contacts. And I got a job after 8 months. I don't know what I would have done without this job, because I was literally on the last of my available savings. So we would have lost a good member. You never know. He would have committed suicide or done some crazy stuff like that. But sometimes our clubs, which are just, we think it's just an ordinary collection of 20, 21 members. We do some speeches, go home, what? You never know. There might be one person in the meeting room who may not be in 100% mental frame on that particular meeting day. The fact that you are engaging that person, keeping him happy, keeping him distracted, keeping him, cheerful, maybe just the one thing what stops him from committing suicide or doing some crazy stuff. So don't underestimate your role. Even if you're a timer, you're a grammarian, whatever it is, sometimes just by seeing your face, he will forget about suicide. You never know. A lot of people, we have amazing chance to make an amazing impact in a lot of people's lives just by coming on the screen, showing up. It's not even about speaking up. just by showing up. Sometimes some members are there in some clubs who say, I come to see you only. Now, sometimes it can get creepy, but they like your company. That's why they're coming. If you are not there in the meeting, I'll also not attend the meeting. So think about that. Think about the family relationships. Think about the brotherhood or the sisterhood, what you can forge with each of your members. Be there for them. It's not about the numbers. It's about the members. It's always like that. If you ask me, we have a lot of targets as RA and all. I respect the dashboard, but the numbers are never about the welfare of the member. That's very clear in my mind. As a member, try to be as helpful as you can for any other person, whether they have position or not. Because these all things are just like 1 year. After that, they will respect you for the person you are and for the value you gave them. Nobody cares whether you're DTM, AD, ABCD, whatever it is. Be a good person. Automatically, distinction will come to you. That's what I feel. So take it seriously, even if it's a small role. Try to be like, bring cheer and uniqueness to that role. People will love you for it and they will celebrate you for it. And that is, according to me, the start of leadership. People need to love you in their heart. They need to respect you in their mind, and then they will place you on a position. So it's a great responsibility. Now, some of you, this year, you might feel nobody stood for this position, so I was pushed into it. There is a reason. It's part of your destiny now. So do that role very, very well, and everything will come its own way. The pandemic won't last for very long. We will last longer, that I'm pretty sure. So all the best to you guys.
Absolutely no words, sir. No words. Let's hope everything happened for the best, and what's going to happen is also will be the best. Thank you for that wonderful, insightful session, and we look forward for having your presence with us in more meetings. We'd love to listen to you for more time, but we're restricted. Thank you for joining us. Moving on to the next session, the educational session. We have our very own Toastmaster Narayanasamy with a quite interesting topic, the teacher's son. And it's going to be evaluated by Toastmaster Enosh Thomas. I request Toastmaster Enosh Thomas to brief the evaluation criteria. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies. Once again, good evening to all fellow Toastmasters. Toastmaster Narayanasamy is attempting his level 1 project. He is not new to Toastmasters, but he is going to attempt the purpose of that project to introduce himself to the club and learn the basics structure of a public speech. I'm sure he will definitely do his very best. We're more eager to hear him, and I wish him all the best. Thank you, and back to Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you, Toastmaster Enosh. Without further ado, let's fasten our seatbelts and listen to the speech by Toastmaster Narayanasamy. The topic is the teacher's son. Over to you, Toastmaster.
So can you unmute?
Okay, Raja, you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yes, my introduction done right? My time is 4 to 6 minutes. It's an icebreaker speech.
6 minutes, okay.
Okay. Hey, where are you going? What are you doing? Why you are so late? I think most of them heard these words in your life. Am I right? Yes. Dear fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests and our chief speaker today. Good afternoon to each and everyone. In my career life, I did not specify to become what, but I more specified to not to become a teacher. Any guess why? I think some of them may understand it. Yes, my
Teachers.
parents, yeah. Okay, my parents were teacher. Not only my parent, my uncle also is a teacher. So I was controlled in my childhood, not only in by teacher, not only in the school, even in my home, I was controlled by the teachers only. Basically, my native is Tiruvarur from Tamil Nadu, south state of India. We are basically a farmer family. My father and mother are teachers. I am an electronic engineer. I have completed my MBA in Indian Academy in Bahrain. Currently working in Fakro Electronics, Bahrain as a technical coordinator. Before I came to Bahrain, I was working in Chennai, which is our capital of our state. I am more passionate to be a politician, but in my future, I might be a politician in my fate going back to India. I have joined in my Toastmaster in 2014 in Indian Academy Toastmasters Club. As I am a chartered member of Indian Academy Toastmasters Club as too. During my childhood, I was controlled by teachers. You all may think it may end after my school life. No. Even my father-in-law is a teacher. Not only my father-in-law, brother-in-law, brother-in-laws also all teachers. This is not the end. Finally, my wife also became teacher after my marriage. So you all may think from where I may hear these words. Where are you going? What are you doing? Why you are late? You all may think these words I may heard from my parents, uncle, or in-laws, or my wife. If you think about this, no, this is not the right. These the words are I'm hearing daily from my only one lovely daughter from Mirnal Nimrudu. She is in grade 12th and she is watching us and she is controlling us, my parents. I am still teacher son, not only in my childhood, not only my teenage, not only the whole life. I think in future also she will be watching me and controlling me as a teacher. This is all about my thing. This is all about myself. Yeah, in my Toastmasters life, I started my journey in 2014. And I become in the old tradition method. I started my old tradition method. I have completed CC and ALB, and even HPL I have completed in my Toastmasters life. Recently, that I am called a post Area 34 director. I have learned a lot from Toastmasters Club. Basically, before I joined Toastmaster, I don't have courage to speak in public, but now I have more courage. That was mostly from Indian Academy Toastmasters Club, because in Indian Academy Toastmasters Club is a family environment Toastmasters. We don't feel we are out anywhere here. We are all family oriented Toastmasters club. Whatever we do mistake, they all will come to us and they will correct it, and we are learning from the mistakes, and we are correcting ourselves and performing well. That's what Indian Academy Toastmasters Club groomed me as a area director, and in my aim became a DTM in before 2021, end of 2024, or else April 2022. It was my aim to become a DTM because I have completed already my path 1 in Toastmasters. So that's all to me. This is all about myself, and I am not hate the teaching profession. The teaching is a one profession that create all other professions. Over to the Master of Ceremony.
Thank you, Toastmaster Narayanasamy. That was indeed great knowing you. And teacher's son, indeed. Okay. Next, we have DTM KM Thomas with a fascinating topic, moving up. And it is going to be evaluated by Toastmaster Kavita Raja. I request Kavita Raja to brief the evaluation criteria. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies. DTM KM Thomas is going to deliver his speech for Project 1 on the topic Moving Up. Speech timing 5 to 7 minutes. The purpose of this project is for member to learn or review basic research method and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. I wish all the best to DTM Thomas. Back to the ceremonies.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kavita. Without any delay, let's get ready for an exciting speech. Actively listen to DTM KM Thomas. And the topic, once again, is moving up. Over to you, Toastmaster.
How many of you remember your first day in school? Not as a teacher, as a student. It was so exciting, right? Okay, let me ask one more question. How many of you remember your first love? Or I can say first crush? It's an exciting time in life, right? Okay, let me go to another question. Do you remember your first flight? Maybe it is in, you're coming to Bahrain or going to Kuwait or some domestic flights. Inside the flight, you see the air hostess, announcements, put the seat belt, looking through the window, enjoy the scenic beauty outside, and watch the beauty of the clouds. It was so exciting, right? Yeah. So now let me come to my last question. It is connected to my topic. Do you remember your first step to an escalator? Escalator. No, so it is not a very important one. But when you are in escalators, first time if you are an escalator, as per myself, it was quite scary putting the first step to the escalator. Carefully watching how it is going up, taking the people, some other side people are coming down, and look at this middle of the steps and put the first foot forward. And while it's moving, grab the handrail and put the second step inside. And while moving up, enjoy the beauty down and stand in the staircase, stand in the escalators like a winner. And when we reach up, we look at around, wow, what a beautiful scenic beauty from the top. There is a famous quote with the escalator. Life is like an escalator. It carries you on regardless, and you might as well as enjoy the view and seize every opportunity while you are passing. Otherwise, it will be too late. Escalators are the largest and expensive machines for our regular use in everywhere, like malls, buildings, subways, and mass pedestrian areas. The name escalator was applied the moving staircase. It is on 1900 in Paris. It was the trademark of Otis elevator. And later, 1949, it has become public property through popular use. But many people are scared to use escalator. You can see that while you are traveling on escalators, some people very scared to put the step forward in the escalator. It is called escalophobia. It is came from the Greek word. Escala is move up, phobia means fear. It seems people feel that they are trapped while they are in escalator. While they are in escalator, there will be shivering, shortness of breath, and hot flushed feeling, a rapid heartbeat. It is so complicated if the people have escalophobia. If we have escalophobia, we need to remove that phobia. We need professional therapy. Escalophobia is connected to the fear of heights, acrophobia. There are some people, they are scared to going down. Sometimes when you visit park, when you go to all the strides or around, sometimes there are something like is going down so fast. So people, you can hear this, people are crying on that one. There's a fear of heights, and also the people are scared to going down. So while they are going down, they feel that they are going to fall down in a survival mechanism. But as a human being, most of them enjoy moving up and enjoy the scene from the top. That's why wherever there is a tower, like Burj Khalifa, we all like to move up to the top of the Burj Khalifa and enjoy the beauty of Dubai. Or in Qutub Minar, we want to, there is no lift also, we want to step it up, go up and see the beauty of from the top. That is the human nature. Go to the top and enjoy the beauty. Whenever I am in escalator, I remember my trip to Istanbul, the magnificent city situated in 2 continents, Asia and Europe. And 2014, when I visited Istanbul, my host, Australian-born Erika Hijadu, took me to around. We went so many places like Galata Tower, subways, Alice Island, everywhere. But on the way, she always pulled me and pushed me to one side. I was wondering why she is always pulling and pushing me to one side. It's not in the pathways, it's an escalator. Later, I came to know that there is an escalator etiquette. Like when you are in escalator, stand on the right, walk on the left. Stand on the right, walk on the left. It is a conventional standing and walking system. But you can see most of the people, when they are in escalator, they are just standing in the center like this, not allow anyone to move from the side to other side. You're standing. If they have any luggages, we always carry on the side, keep it there. We don't allow anybody to move on the other side. But in escalator etiquette, walk on the right, stand on the right, walk on the left. Stand on the right, walk on the left. But in New Zealand and Australia, it is opposite. Stand on the left, walk on the right. But when you are in escalator, you can notice that when some people reach the top, when they reach the top, they will look around, just stopping the way, and the people coming back to them, just like a bumping to that people. And always to give way to others. Sometimes they are in a very rush to go there. And always when you are in escalator, stand on the right, walk on the left. The escalators can be a metaphor for fear of moving up in the life, or taking a broader, higher perspective on life with you in it. You might want to reflect on how you see yourself in the world. Toastmasters, friends and guests, remember that there is no escalator to success, only steps. Back to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Thomas, for that inspiring speech. Indeed, very true. What an insightful words. moving to the table topics. Moving to the table topic master's favorite session of the evening, none other than the table topic session. Let's end that waiting and move directly to the session. Over to you, Toastmaster Wahiba.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. So let me share my screen. 1 second. Raja sir, can you give me the permission to speak? So I'm gonna choose the speaker by spinning the wheel. Okay. Okay. Do we have Toastmaster Malvika here?
Yeah, exactly. She joined now. Again, rejoined actually.
Okay.
Toastmaster Malavika? Toastmaster Malavika? Are you here?
Should I pick someone else or?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, 1 second. Okay. Nasha, Toastmaster Nasha, you are the speaker. So let me share the screen once again. Your question. If you could go back in time and tell your younger self one thing, what would it be? Toastmaster Nasha?
Can you repeat?
If you
Can you
could
repeat the question?
Yeah, if you could go back in time and tell your younger self one thing, what would it be?
Okay. That's a good question. Thank you, Table Topic Master TM Wahiba Abdul. Good evening, Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. The topic given to me is, if you could go, the question changed. If you could go back in time and tell your younger self one thing, what would it be? So, honestly, nothing. I'm the same from younger. I'm just same. I don't think I have to say something because I feel I'm the same. If I want to say something, I would say to my younger sister, don't be like a like a grandma type. She used to irritate me like a grandma, like do this, do that, and all. I hate that. I feel she's a elder one to me. Nothing else. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nasha. Now, for the next speaker. Rusby. So my next speaker is Rusby. Rusby's question is.
No, it's Toastmaster Raja.
It's Toastmaster Raja. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, Toastmaster Raja. Your question is 1 second. Okay. If you could switch lives with anyone currently living for an entire day, who would it be?
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and fellow colleagues. A wonderful question, because currently I am looking for my second daughter. Her second daughter is in India. So if I can get one day, I will stay with my second daughter. So I'm expecting my flight tickets and my day to enjoy with my second daughter. Of course, she's my I am with the first daughter only. But anyway, we need enjoyment with second daughter. And our life, we need our life. We're getting bored. That is the reason I selected 2 countries to work. One is Saudi, one is Bahrain. So weekly thrice in my Saudi peoples and 2 days in Bahrain peoples. So we need changes in our life. So, and hope it's a right time you ask these questions, and enjoy. Back to our table topic master, Vahiba.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raja. So, I'm sorry for the noise. My little brother is making the noise. Okay. So for the next speaker. C3M Thomas, you are my next speaker. So let me take a question for you. You can see the question, right? Can you see the question?
Yes, we
You can see only half question.
Oh, okay, one second. If you had a genie that could grant 3 wishes, what would they be? The question clear?
Topic master, fellow Toastmasters. You have 3 wishes to tell to the genie. What are the 3 wishes? Okay, the first one I could wish, because the last 2 years, usually I couldn't travel any other places. Usually on holidays, vacation time, usually I would like to explore one new place, one new country, but last 2 years couldn't reach and meet any people and go anywhere. The first thing I would ask Jenny to put some limitation, put something to do with these corona restrictions, and let the people travel to everywhere to enjoy their life, meet their relatives. Like Raja want to go back to India to meet his daughter. Like, let's go everywhere and meet their children, meet their friends, meet new places and all. That was the first wish. The second wish is to let the global, what is the restrictions, or suppose we want to visit one country, we need visas and everything. So we are all living in one world. So remove all these restrictions like visas and permits to travel from one country to other. Let us people go easily to one place to other, like from Bahrain, we are going from Manama to Budebia, or Manama to Budebia, like people go freely from one place to other one. Remove all the restrictions and let the people enjoy in one language. If suppose English is most popularly used in the language everywhere, but in some countries we are very restricted. We cannot communicate people because they are not in. There will be one common language in the world that people have to communicate each other. That are the 3 wishes I would like to tell to Jeannie. Back to table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ken Thomas. Your wishes are very different ones. I haven't heard anyone saying those wishes. So, Toastmaster Rajamanikam, we have time for the next question.
So I think we can wind up.
Okay, thank you, and it was wonderful hearing all your answers. Thank you. Back to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Ahiba. Though the fact is that we joined here for speaking, for improving myself, for improving my public speaking. You still managed to give me a heart attack with that meme, with that song. And wonderful choice of questions. Congratulations to the participants. You all did so good. Next, the main session of the evening, the anchor of the ship, without which there is no point in sailing. We need to reach a destination, right? Yes, it's the general evaluation session. I request our general evaluator, Toastmaster Neha Jaitlia, to take over. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. That was a lovely session. I know it's going to be hard for me to evaluate the whole session because I was into the session, I was enjoying it. So without much ado, let's start with my whole set of teams. I have my many hands over the meeting. So starting with the evaluators for the speeches, I'll first welcome Toastmaster Enosh to give his evaluation for our first speaker, Toastmaster Narayana Swami.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Neha. Once again, good evening, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and to Speaker Toastmaster Narayana Swami. What a wonderful speech, and that to an icebreaker speech. He is definitely a seasoned Toastmaster, and he is going towards his DTM achievement. But let me give an evaluation and break it out into 3 parts. One, I will tell you what I loved about his speech. Second, the areas that probably I can recommend that he can look at and take his speech to the next level. And last, I will summarize his speech. He started with a bang. And what was it? Hey, where are you going today? What are you doing? Suddenly, I just got my ears, my mind just opened and I became fully fresh. Questions always catches the audience. And that too, when you begin with a question, it grabs the attention of the audience. And that is what I loved. You started with a quote. You also gave your educational background, and this being an icebreaker speech is all about yourself and introducing yourself and family. You gave an educational background, your professional qualifications, that you've done your MBA, that you worked in India and back in Bahrain, and you're working with an IT firm. That's wonderful. And I'm sure many members in Indian Academy Toastmasters, especially those who have been there for quite a long time, know you already. But many of the new members are hearing you for the first time. So it's very nice and very informative to know about who, your background, and your family about. The third thing that I loved was the fact that it was a bit humorous, where you told that your mom, your parents, then now your wife, and then a lot of families are teachers, and apt to the topic as well, a teacher's son. And I can relate to that because my grandparents, parents, family members, there are a number of teachers. Of course, I'm not in that field, but I love teaching. Kudos to those 3. What I would like to see you look at and then take those and help you improve in your further speech is would have been better to have stood up, and so that there would be some body gestures to enhance your speech, number 1. Number 2, taken that humor into your speech and talk more about yourself, probably one area, one incident to help us understand more. And third, I would like you to challenge on a voice modulation. Good quote, educational background, humor, work on those few points and you'll be a fantastic speaker. Thank you. Back to General Evaluator.
Wow, that was evaluation point to point. Now, moving forward towards our next evaluator, Toastmaster Kavita Raja, who will be evaluating our second speaker, DTM T.M. Thomas. Over to you, Toastmaster Kavita.
Thank you, General Evaluator. That was a wonderful speech. Our DTM Thomas has started the asking question with the audience about first love, first flight, first teacher. That made audience to make curious to listen about your speech. The clarity, the comfort level, and the research you have made in your speech, everything was very perfect. I really enjoyed it. Actually, in escalator, you have to go on the right and walk on the left. That seriously, I came to know only after listening your speech. When I am going the escalator next time, seriously, I will follow the instruction what you have given. That was the serious you have given it. That was very wonderful. You have made research on that. If you go on an escalator like a slope here for the new people who are going, they will feel. That was really awesome. What I used to recommend, if you stand up and if you have given the speech, the expression would have much more better that the audience can reach very well. Otherwise, the clarity, everything are very perfect. I wish all the best for your next future project. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kavita, for your evaluation. And now moving forward towards the role of the AHA counter. Without these injections, what we call AHA counter, arms, I think no speech is complete. However seasoned you are, you do make mistakes. And there is when my hand, supporting hand, AHA counter is there to note all your mistakes and to make you aware that yes, you were there wrong. So over to you, AHA counter.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Thank you, General Evaluator TM Neha ma'am. So first, our keynote speaker, 3R, 1 business session. Speaker 1, TM Narayana Swamy sir, 2R. Our next speaker, TM KM Thomas sir, 1R. In table topics, TM Nasha, 3R. TM Rajamanikam sir, no mistakes, table topics. And TM KM Thomas sir, 1R. For evaluation, TM Renosh Thomas sir, no mistakes. TM Kavita ma'am, 2 and 6 Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nasha. My AHA counter, what an elaborate report with each count bang on. Thank you. Moving towards our next evaluator, who is a grammarian and who will be noticing all your proper uses of grammar. So over to you, our Toastmaster grammarian.
Thank you, Toastmaster Neha ma'am. To be frank, I couldn't find out any mistakes from anyone. Still, I noticed a minor mistake in business session. Toastmaster Narayana Swamy, he used in 2012, I become instead of became. That is the only mistake I could find. Thank you. Over to you, ma'am.
Toastmaster Rajni, right? Regina. Toastmaster Regina, as a grammarian, you must tell about the usage of the word of the day.
Yeah.
Have anyone have not used?
No, I noticed that nobody used my word. I think it's a little bit difficult to anyone. I think that was the reason behind that. No, I can't see that nobody used that word. Rendus was.
No problem.
It is something related. That word something related to meeting. Maybe because of that, nobody's used that particular word.
No problem. Thank you, Toastmaster. Now, moving towards a person without whom the whole meeting would have not been completed on time. It's the timer who literally takes the boat on time, to time. So over to you, Toastmaster Raja, for the timer report.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Neha. And now I'm going to individuals. We cannot go to special training. I think it's a very valuable time took by DTM Sujit. And I'm going to individual speaker. Narayana Swami took 6 minutes, 10 minutes, 6 minutes, 10 seconds. And DTM KM Thomas took 7 minutes, 5 seconds. For table topics, Toastmaster Nasha took 1 minute, 17 seconds. Toastmaster Raja took 1 minute, 15 seconds. And DTM Thomas took 2 minutes. For individual general evaluator, Toastmaster Renos took 3 minutes, 30 seconds. And Toastmaster Kavita took 2 minutes, 2 seconds. Over to you, general evaluator, Toastmaster Neha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raja, for the report, timer report. I want to ask whether there will be voting for the best table topic and best speaker.
Currently, no, madam, because DTM Toastmaster Thomas sir is from another club, so we are not having some competitions.
Okay. So we won't be having votes for speakers and table topic sessions.
No.
Great, no problem. So we have done with our evaluations. All the hands have sent their report and they were bang on. Thank you for that. Now moving towards general evaluation. The role of a general evaluation is to evaluate the meeting as a whole. From the minute it started till the minute it will end, or till my report will come. So let's start. The first thing, when I got the agenda, I love the way it has been prepared, especially the flyer in which what's coming next was also there. So you are attracting people for your next meeting also. So that was wonderfully done. The agenda was wonderfully prepared and it really attracted the Toastmasters. And SSA role, it was very well explained. TMOD, starting with a question, was a very good idea. You really involved everyone. When you throw a question to the audience, you really attract and involve everyone. You grab their attentions. And that is what is needed with the role of TMOD. And you have done full justice with the role. Good. You have given introduction to all the role players. The introduction was very good. You have used good words and good adjectives with each role player. And that was very nice. Session was DTM Sujit was cherry on the cake. Really, that was something which every Toastmaster is waiting for. This is what I want. This is what we want. We want to understand. So that was a very wonderful session, very well held. And the numbers are never above the welfare of the people. This is one thing which I have learned from the speech of Toastmaster Sujit. Thank you. And table topic master, spinning of the wheel, was a very innovative and attractive idea. Though everyone was tensed, whose number will come, everyone was attentive. Mostly, the most important thing was everyone was attentive. I can just switch off my camera and switch off my mic and say, okay, I'm not going to speak for the table topic session. No, you can't do it. You have to be attentive because your name can come. So that was a very good idea to involve everyone on the platform. So that was very good. And for some suggestions, as a grammarian, what I felt like you have given the word now itself. And though it was tough for some, not tough for some, because everyone was prepared with their speeches. Somehow more or less evaluator was prepared, speech were prepared. So if you can give this word of the day in the agenda itself, okay, that this will be the word of the day for our next meeting. People can prepare, they can research, they can prepare. It will be easy and it will be very helpful if they use the word of the day, because you have worked hard for choosing the word of the day. And if it is not used, your whole thing was was of no use. So try and give this an agenda prior so that they can use the word of the day more and more. Second thing, we can have a virtual common background, which I feel every time I say, because these are Zoom meetings, we can use a virtual background beforehand, we can send so that we can have a uniformity all over the meeting. Okay, instead of different backgrounds. And thirdly, what I felt is try and control your background voice. For some time at least, you can control your, because it really distracts you. So try and control. I know it's not possible with kids and everyone, but try and control, because if meetings are there, this is very important to be a part of the meeting and not so that you don't distract everyone. And so and now I'll go to the evaluators. The report for the timer and the R counter and the grammarian was very nice. It was given like full justice they have given to their roles. And Toastmaster Renosh, both the evaluators and the speaker were wearing the caps. So first I thought they have decided to wear the same thing so that we can just see them same. So it was very, I mean, I liked it very much. Both of them were wearing cap back to back. So I liked it very much. And the sandwich approach which you used was perfectly applied. What is sandwich approach is, you start with the positives, you give some suggestions, and again you end with some of the positive notes. So that is a sandwich approach, and you used it very well, and you have given full justice to this approach. And it was a very nice role as an evaluator. Toastmaster Kavita, I felt the evaluation was little short. You must have just elaborated the evaluation to give a constructive feedback to your speaker. So this is what I felt. Otherwise, the meeting was bang on. The sessions were on time. It was perfectly organized. Toastmaster of the day have organized all the things very perfectly without any glitches, without anything. So yes, it was a very nice session, and I really enjoyed and really looking forward for more and more such sessions. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you for those valuable feedbacks, and we'll start advices in the upcoming meetings. I'd also love to thank you for having that constant smile pasted on your face. Loved that pleasantness. Hoping to have you more often with us. Thank you. Next, we have a hardworking, talented VP Education, Toastmaster Nasha Sawson, to announce the program for our next meeting, meeting number 123. Let's listen to her. Over to you, Toastmaster Nasha.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, TM Rusby Bashir. Good evening once again. For our next meeting, we have TM Nisha Shivaram conducting a workshop on her journey to the semi-finals of World Championship of Public Speaking, titled, "What is your story?" I request members to start their speeches. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nasha. Now it's time to acknowledge and appreciate our guests and our speakers. I request our VPPR, Toastmaster Wahiba, to do the recordings. Over to you, Wahiba. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Neha, for having. Okay. Remember at the beginning, I asked you a few questions, And we concluded that it was the fear that was stopping us, right? It takes courage to belong. It takes bravery to show up in your own skin. It's easy to fit in, and it's easy to blend in and hide your outrageousness. And it's also the easiest way to lose the precious parts of you. As a keynote speaker has said already, you deserve to be seen, you deserve to be heard, and you deserve to be known for the real deal that you are. Stop taking the easy way out and stop trying to fit in. The best place in life is where you're already okay. Come home to you, and it's where you belong. And if others don't like you, who cares? That's their problem, and start owning your life. Most importantly, do it your way. Now, I request our president, Toastmaster Kavita Raja, to take over and conclude the meeting. Over to you, President.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies. Today, the evening was very beautiful and the session was too good, really informative. Thank you to our DTM, Sujit Sukumar, who has given a superb and informative speech. And our general evaluator, Toastmaster Nega, has covered everything. She has given a first to end very clearly. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Neha. It's been a pleasure to work with you. And I want to say our Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Rushiba. Actually, today it was given suddenly that the spirit shown given in the last minute. This is the sign for leadership. Really, thank you so much, Toastmaster Rushiba. And today, let me adjourn the meeting number 122. Thank you all.
Can I have some photographs? Toastmaster Narayana Swami, sir, okay. Toastmaster Malavika? Okay. 3, 2, 1. That's done. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you all. Toastmaster Safa, we could like to hear some words from you.
Raja,
Yes, sir.
next time, please include the business session on the meetings.
Okay.
During the evaluation, during the general evaluation, we have to include the business session.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, from next meeting onwards, just include it.
Okay, sure. Yeah, Toastmaster Safa.
Hello, I've been listening to the meeting. Yeah, it's really
Yes.
informative for me to know about the pathways and how we can pursue it. Right now, I think my pathway is personal, where I have to, get rid of all my inhibitions and start communicating in whatever way I can. And I look forward to the next meeting in the same way. I hope a new role is given to me. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you. Toastmaster Neha, thank you very much for joining.
Thank you so much, guys, for having me. I really enjoyed, and it was fun to listen, to learn new things, and to listen to such a good speakers. I really enjoyed, and really looking forward to be with you guys again.
Yeah, actually, we are the students from Indira Gandhi Open University, Bahrain.
Yes, but I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.